Alright class, turn to page 44. We're gonna learn quadratic inequalities. So before this, you know that the difference between linear inequalities and quadratic. So linear means that it is in the form of linear. See, you have here linear, when you have, for example, ax plus b greater, using the symbol of inequality, greater than 0, or it can be less than or less or equal, or greater or equal. So unlike linear, quadratic you have in the form of quadratic equation. So you are familiar with quadratic equation, right? So you know, so it is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c less or equal to 0. So these are in the form of quadratic inequalities. So let us try one example in your module. See example 2.9. So solve for x squared minus x minus 6 less than 0. So in order to solve quadratic inequalities, there are three methods to solve quadratic inequalities. One, you can have, we call it graphical methods. So second method is the real number line methods. So the last one, we call it table of sign method. Okay, let us take a look. If you choose graphical methods, okay, the first step is to factorize the inequalities here. So you factorize x squared minus x minus 6, you got x plus 2 multiplied by the other factor is x minus 3 less than 0. So here you have to sketch graph. So take a look at this point. You have here, when you solve, for example, you solve this equal to 0, so you get 2. For example, you solve here, assume it is equal to 0, so you get 2 point here, which is x equal to negative 2 and x equal to 3. So when you have these 2 points, you plot. So negative 2 is here, 3 is here. So this quadratic inequalities above the x-axis or below. So because this means that ax, so I put it here, ax squared minus bx minus c less than 0 means that y here less than 0. So when y less than 0, so the graph would be like this. And then where is the solution? So the solution is below y-axis. Alright, so this is the graphical method, the simplest one. Okay, let us try using a real number line. Let's try the second method using real number line method. Okay, at is also named real number line. So in your mind, you will think that you have to draw a number line. So in this case, you have here two factor. Okay, we took from the first method, we have two factor here, x plus 2 multiplied by x minus 3, you have less than 0. Alright, and then you have to assume that each factor, okay, each factor greater than 0. So you solve. So x here greater than negative 2. Okay, this one also you have here x minus 3 greater than 0. So x here greater than 3. Alright, and then once you have these 2 points, you draw a real number line. So you draw here a number line. You have the first value is negative 2 here and 3 here. Alright, how to draw a number line? As it was discussed in chapter 1, you know now how to draw real number line. Okay, now the first one, number line x greater than negative 2. So where is the point? So the point is here is undone. So project to the right. Project to the right because x greater than negative 2. So x greater than 3. So here also undone. So project to the towards positive infinity. Alright, now you have two line here. Okay, how to solve? Okay, what is the solution set? It's your question, right? So this question set is you firstly you divide the number line into 3 area. The first area is here below negative 2. The second area is between negative 2 and 3. And the third area is when x is greater than 3. Okay, let's look at the area below negative 2. Okay, that's the two line. For example, here are x plus 2. Okay, the second line is x minus 3, right? So does the line x minus 2 cross this area? No. If it does not, then you just put the sign negative here. Alright, next you see the first factor. Does the line x minus 2 cross the second area? Yes, so you put it as positive sign. And then the last area, does the line cross x plus 2 on the right of 3? Yes, so you put the positive sign. Okay, the same goes for second factor. When you have x minus 3, this is the line, right? Okay, does the line cross this part? No, right? No, so you put it as negative sign or minus sign. Here also minus sign. And then greater than 3, positive sign. Alright, then you have to note that the original question is that x plus 2 multiplied by x minus 3 must be less than 0. So must be less than 0 means the two factor multiply together. So you multiply the two factor together. So minus, meet with the minus, you have positive sign here. And then positive and minus, you have negative sign here. And then plus plus will become plus. Alright, so what is the conclusion? So the conclusion is that you took when x, the two factors multiplied together must be less than 0. So when must be less than 0, you take negative sign as the solution. So what are the solution? So the solution set here would be, the solution is x must be mestilah antara negatif 2 dan 3. So this is the solution set for x. So bila solution set mestilah dalam curly bracket. Now we call it n or n. So when you take between two numbers, it is AND operator. Alright, okay, let's take a look another method, which is table of sign.